Hello again. Welcome to another video, and I've got a real treat for you today. This is a Sony Walkman and I'm going to unbox it. It's a WM-EX615 and this was the last new Walkman that I ever bought, and I bought it quite late. So this is one that was in kind of the early 2000s, and it was kind of at the stage where these sort of Walkmans were vanishing from the shelves of electronic shops. So that's when I bagged this one, and I remember paying not too much for it at the time. So let's dive into this and have a look and see what the whole unboxing process comprises of. So this Walkman has not really been used. It's been used slightly, but not very much. And I believe everything is still intact. So we have a pouch for the cassette. Got one of these chunky chargers for the gum stick. There's an optional AA case there, attachment. All right, in here there are some headphones and very nice, totally unmarked remote. So that's looking pretty good. What else do we need? We need a gum stick battery. Now this does look like it's deteriorated slightly. There's, I don't know if you can see it actually. Here it just looks like some of the discoloration is going on underneath the label, so I don't hold out much hope for that battery. And then the Walkman itself. So it's a special edition due to the design of it, the logo. That's what it was. So Sony decided to change their logo, and quite a smart looking logo. They also decided to feature the logo as part of the buttons on here, as you can see. Now I have seen several other players with different colours, and I think this one is probably the common one, the blue one, but I might be wrong. I suppose it depends on what territory you're in. Now, like a lot of Walkmans of the time, it's got a standard bout layout inside, and the mechanism will be fairly standard internally, and that was kind of shared across quite a few Sony models. Now, let's see what it's got on the button side. Yeah, just going from the top then, so volume to one side, there's a hold switch, and then a headphone socket with the remote, and that's the one here. So that's the original remote for it. A little bit mini disky, I guess. That'll display the mode that you're in, and I think it's essential for maybe the sound mode. So I don't think you can alter the sound mode on here without that remote. And then looking around, there's just the slider for the door mechanism. There's a door there for the gum stick battery, and there's the optional sort of connector part for the hold of the external AA battery compartment. Hinge, that's about it really. It's a nice looking Walkman because it's all in white with a little bit of sort of grey on the sides, and obviously you've got the blue and silver, so not too many sort of colours going on here, but got a nice little window there for viewing the actual motion of the tape going around. You can't see particularly too much, I wouldn't have thought, although let's put should we put a cassette in? So this is the inside of it, and look at that, very, very clean. It's basically not been used. So the pinch rollers look, yeah, perfect. The head, there's no dust or anything. So like a lot of these Walkmans, just sort of slides into the door and then close it up. So yeah, that's not going to really be that useful, that window, to show you where you are in the tape. It's just going to show the motion of the wheel going round. And I suppose it's in the centre because it's symmetric to the design of the actual cover of the Walkman. So if this was off slightly, then you'd see more of the cassette kind of cog going round. But that's just what they chose to do there. Now I think because it's all metal, it adds a bit of protection to it. And you could probably drop this a few times and not have any issues apart from maybe denting it. Yes, as you can see, it's very, very clean, and it's not been used for a very long time. Been used a little bit, but not excessively. I'm going to put this to one side, and we'll just have a look in the box for instructions. Anything else interesting? So this looks like the original receipt actually. So this was, so let's have a look at this. This was bought in the Yate store of Powerhouse. So Yate, which is a little town just north of Bristol, They had a powerhouse retail shop, and this was bought from Sandra, and it was bought for £29.98 on a debit card. And the year was 2003, so it was bought in February, on February the 7th, in fact. So that's the receipt there. And inside, it's fairly standard, all this sort of thing. So you have the European guarantee, a quick kind of guide, and you'll put in instructions there, telling us how to use it. So it's the same for the 615 and the 610. It says on there, Sony Corporation 2000. So maybe this was just really old stock when I bought it. And there's just a warning about not hurting your ears. So, on the headphones, headphone warning. All right, let's see if this little one fires up. Now, when I had it in storage, I did notice that it discoloured slightly on the rubber here, and I've not used anything abrasive. I've just given it a little kind of wipe with my thumb, and it's kind of taken away the kind of greyness that was on here before. It's kind of showing through. So I'm going to be using one of my new batteries. So times have moved on. We're away from these NiCads now, and they obviously have served their purpose. Kind of 600 versus 1,450 supposedly, but probably a little bit lower. All right, let's put that in. These go in like this. I think it'll be probably worth connecting the headphones, won't it? So I've already put a cassette in. Now the bout might have deteriorated, so it might not do anything. Okay, so it's ready to be used. So let's press play. Ooh, it's working. So it's going in reverse because of the way I put the tape in. So that's on the original bout. So I'm going to fast forward. So the way this remote works is fast forward or reverse will basically go in either direction depending on what direction your tape is playing. So, oh, it's struggling. Did you see that? So that now should be on the second track of the cassette. It has a search feature, and that's how it detected the gap. Quite a standard thing. So what's the mode do? Oh, that's blank skip. Just want to miss all your blank sort of gaps in between your recordings. And then sound. That sounds a bit louder actually. So that's RV. MV, so that's probably mega bass. And groove, GRV. And that's standard. Let's just check the manual, 'cause I didn't know what those were. Well, I got most of them right, didn't I? But what's the first mode? Okay, sound revitalizer is RV, MV's mega bass, and GRV is groove. So groove is essentially a better mega bass with a louder bass sound, but that might obviously be too much depending on the recording. Normal is what it is now, no effect. Protecting your hearing, it's got a automatic volume limiter as well. Hold down mode until AVLS appears on display. Hold down mode. Is that talking about the mode here? No, it's talking about the display, isn't it? Hold down mode. Oh, sorry. Hold down mode. Hold down, not hold down, hold down mode. So I'm going to hold in, hold. There we go, AVLS. And I'm going to hold it in again. And it takes it off. So that's good, you can take it off. So when blank skip is displayed, the tape is fast forwarded to the next track if there is a blank space of longer than 12 seconds. So that's only really if you've got a long gap of silence. So this cassette Walkman is quite a standard design under the hood. It's just the appearance of it. And I'm going to try now making it change. So let's do auto reverse. And that's stop. So I've got to hold my finger on it for auto reverse. There you go. So that's forward. Now forward at the moment is getting close to the end of the tape. So if I hold my finger down, that now has changed. So there's an additional volume on there. But it does work in conjunction with the one on the machine. There you go. Turn it right down. So you might have that right up and then you can adjust everything on the remote. So quite a basic remote. The remote here is a WM-E615. So I don't know if you can see that. It's an RM WM-E615. So this is quite a nice model. It's quite straightforward to use. The buttons, I'm going to try using the buttons now and just see what I think about those. So just going to try doing the auto reverse. They're quite hard to press. The mechanism sounds quite noisy as well, quite sort of loud, isn't it? So let's try Q. Yeah, so let's just hold down. Oh wow, you hear that? So that should find the next track, and it has. Now it's going to play the next track. So let's do rewind. Quite sort of small. It's struggling to rewind. Oh, no, it wasn't struggling to rewind, it had just found the gap again, hadn't it? I wouldn't be surprised if this bounce a little bit weak though. I'll tell you what, it's not too bad. When it's like that, yeah. When it's lying down like that, it seems to go quicker. So yeah, a very nice looking Walkman. Probably fetching a little bit more money these days, just because they're quite interesting designs. Now, I have another one here. This one is a little bit more used, a bit more battered up. Now, I bought this one, obviously after this one. It's got signs of being used, but not too bad. Oh, has it got a battery in here? Something looks a bit sweaty. No, there's no battery, but I don't like in there. There's a bit of dust in there. Okay, let's just see if this one works. So I'll take another battery, and this one's had a little bit of corrosion. So things to look out for is people sometimes leave the original batteries like these in their cassette players, and then you get all sorts of corrosion issues. So, okay, I'm just going to take the cassette out, that one, put it into here. So it does seem like it's important to have the remote. You need the remote to change the sound mode. You could leave it as a standard kind of sounding mode, but you really do need that remote. So that's one of the things I would be looking for, or allows you to select different modes for the sound. So let's try this now. Oh, that's interesting. See, it's got Dolby B NR on there. Where's the selector for Dolby B? See what I mean? I'm going to look at the manual. Is it just saying it's compatible with Dolby B? Which means anything can play Dolby B, but will it make any impact? So just looking now. Now, one thing I would advise, if you've got an old Sony like this, and you've maybe got the original charger, these do not have a cutout feature as far as I remember. So if you put your gum sticks in, particularly if you put your new ones in, you may cause damage if you just leave them on without checking. So I would actually not advise using something like this anymore. I would use a dedicated charger, and something like this, a double power charger, will work off USB and will provide the right sort of current. I think the current is going to be similar to this. Let's have a look. Actually slightly higher on the voltage side, 1.48 as opposed to 1.2. But yeah, I wouldn't use one of those because you might just forget to go and check it. And obviously something that's an intelligent charger is going to work better for you because it's going to stop charging when it gets to a certain point. All right, let's see if this one works. So play. It's not doing anything. It's not even clicking. That could be this here. So this is looking a little bit sort of corroded. I'm just going to try scratching off. We want that to make good contact, don't we? Just lift it slightly as well. Okay. It's doing absolutely nothing. Right. Let's put the known good one to one side. So if I was to go out listening to one of these, it would be this one because it's obviously marked up already, and the other one is really something that I need to keep in one piece. So it looks totally dead on there. No power at all. I'm going to take the gum stick battery that we know is working, just in case that's a weak part. I'm going to put it into this one, like so. It's not the battery. It's just not receiving any power at all. Okay, let's take that battery back out, and I'm going to try the external battery holder. Here, looks fairly clean. It's just a case of checking. Okay, no power at all getting through to this one. Well, this is going to make an interesting video. That just fits over there. So the bout's snapped. What's bothering me is it didn't seem to be getting any power. There might be some evidence of a little bit corrosion. expect something to happen there, wouldn't you? Even with the belt like that. Oh, it clicked. Did you see that? It clicked there. I'm going to turn this over to remind me of where the buttons are. So. I just would have expected it to have done something. Just take this belt out anyway. There's the belt. Good job it's not gone to goo yet. Let's get a replacement belt. That's looking like it, isn't it? Okay, so what you have to do here is lift this up, sort of bend it up a bit, don't let it snap, but just get something like this. But hey, we got something. Right. Also need a cassette in here. Now, if you're just getting into Walkmans, a lot of the Sonys are really good to fix, and you'll find that this standard arrangement is in lots of them. As you can see, it took me just a few seconds to put that belt on. There you go. Auto reverse. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to try forward in. Stop. Reverse. Stop. Okay. You can't see much from the other side, so let's try using this. So it says reverse at the moment. Okay. That's the battery indicator there. I'm hoping I'm turning it up. There you go. That was stop. Let's do auto reverse. So when you just want to move the tape in any of those directions, you can use the buttons here. Obviously when it's playing, it's going to do the music search mode. So and I think you can press it several times. Oh, yeah, that's me and the battery. Let's just play again. forward, AMS2, AMS3. So this should jump past various tracks on the tape. Potentially I might be going the wrong way though, and I might be getting to the end of the tape. Let's see what it does. So this is made in Malaysia. I believe a lot of stuff was made in Malaysia around that time. I remember seeing lots of AWARs. So AWAR was actually became part of Sony in the end, didn't it? Alright, that's me stopping it there. Good. Alright, let's throw that out away. The drawback is I've only got one remote like that for this, for both of them. So I may very well put this one on eBay to sell now. I might put it on with the battery and do someone a turn. So when you put the back on, to make sure the hold's off, just start it at that end. Now I did read that it's not totally plain sailing with this particular model. There are some, there is one issue I think, and there is a piece of plastic, possibly a cog that can split. So that's something just to be mindful of. That's only something I've read. I'm just going to put these in my ears now. Make sure we got no wow and flutter. I would probably leave it on the mega bass setting. I think the RV one is a little bit too trebly, and the extra kind of bass setting is probably too bassy. So a good compromise would be to leave it on that first mega bass setting. All right, let's push that back in. So that's got to be bent slightly, otherwise it's going to come off again. Okay. Right, excellent. Put the screws in. So if I was in the market for buying one of these and I didn't own one, I think I'd be very tempted, because they're a nice sturdy metal design, and that will last, and that will add to the robustness of it, probably protecting the mechanism somewhat as well. Yeah, that is quite a nice looking Walkman. Obviously that's the one that looks like new. Looks like maybe the white does slightly deteriorate, and the actual trim here It's a little bit worn. The buttons seem to be made of a decent rubber though. They look quite sort of sturdy. Obviously white's going to show up bits and bobs, isn't it? But anyway, I suppose I should really change about on that one, but I won't at the moment. I'm going to try using this one, and I will do that before I decide to put it on eBay for someone else to buy. Anyway, I hope this video has been useful to you, and please can you like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to Avid Retro, and I'll do some more videos in the future. Bye for now.